It's almost 9 o'clock. Close.
TikTok.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Grand Traverse County Brownfield Redevelopment Authority meeting to order on July 9th, 2026 at 9 a.m. Before we rise, if you have any smart devices, please put them on mute or silent. Be greatly appreciated. And with that, let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Could we do a roll call, please?
Here.
Shaw? Here.
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 Here. A? Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Before we proceed on to the next, we do have a new member to the board, Ms. Julie Hay. If you could give us a little background, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Great. I'm happy to be here. This is my first time serving on a Brownfield authority, so I'm excited about the opportunity. I live in Williamsburg and have a consulting firm in Traverse City, and I do a lot of community and economic development projects as a consultant, and so I'm just flattered to be here in the company of everyone, so thank you.
Very good. Welcome. Next item on our agenda is public comment. If there's anybody wishing to make a public comment, I'd ask that they rise, go to the podium, state your name and address, and direct your comments to this authority. Any member of the public wishing to do so? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next item of our agenda, is the approval of the agenda. Is there any additions, subtractions to the agenda?
Make the motion we approve as presented.
Second.
Motion by Seifert, seconded by Shaw to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Next item is the consent calendar. The purpose of the consent calendar is to expedite business by grouping non-controversial items together to be dealt with by one authority motion without any discussion. Any member of the authority, staff, or public may ask that any item on the consented calendar be removed and placed elsewhere on the agenda for full discussion. Such request will automatically be respected. If any item is not removed from the consent calendar, the action noted, receive and file, or approval is approved by a single authority action adopting the consent calendar. The calendar contains meeting minutes of May 7th, 2026, Brownfield Redevelopment Authority 2026 June claims, approved payment of May, June 2026 claims. Any member of the board wishing to remove an item? Staff? Member of the public? Hearing none, would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Shaw, supported by Seifert, to approve the consent calendar as presented. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item number 5, special orders of business. Recognizing none, we'll continue on to item 6, which we did not do, so we'll move on to item 7, which we did not do. Number 8, we'll start off with Treasurer Heidi Sheppy for the report.
Yeah, so you have the June trial balance in your packet, and I just want to call out that the county has officially closed their books, so the numbers probably look significantly different from the last one. Before they roll over, it includes 2 years, so the trial balance, it is accurate, and it's just a lot less because it was only 1 year instead of 2. Happy to answer any questions. It's just the way that their system works.
Thank you, Heidi. Any questions of Heidi? Very good. Should we receive and file?
We'll receive and file, yeah.
So we should make a motion on that, or just continue?
Make a motion that we receive and file the treasurer's June 2026 trial balance update.
Second.
Motion by Seifert, seconded by Shaw. Was it? Oh.
It was me.
What was it? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Next, B, legal. Mr. Howard.
No updates besides what's in your packet, so.
Very good, thank you. C, administration. Ann?
Yeah, hi, good morning, everybody. We have today on an administrative agenda. We need to approve our treasurer, Grand Traverse County Treasurer, Heidi Sheppy's contract for a 2-year extension for her services. So if there's any questions, let me know.
Hearing no questions or discussion, I would entertain a motion.
So made. Beat you.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion by Seifert, seconded by Krischer. Is that how?
Fine. Good creature.
Kreitzer, thank you.
Hey,
Any
you
discussion?
Third from the left. Is that all good?
Girl over here.
Any discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Let's see, move on to item, oh, is that all, Ann? Anything
Yeah,
else?
that's it. Yeah.
Okay. We'll move on to item 9 of old business, which we have none. So that brings us to item 10, new business, Common Grounds Cooperative and Nest Community Partners, NEST, LBRF, grant consideration for MISTA required environmental due diligence activities. And
So I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to read the large packet on this one, but essentially, Common Grounds, I think you guys are all aware of that project on the corner here. They are going through a transfer of ownership, and essentially they're applying for additional funding through MISTA. And when you get additional funds, MISTA has different environmental requirements than standard due diligence. So we have James Jackson here with Otwell Mobby. He's helping with the process and going through. Essentially, they need to update the Phase 2 environmental site assessment, take a few more samples to confirm what had been already completed under the environmental cleanup over there, and then they file what's called a documentation of due care compliance plan, and that gets approved by Eagle. Oh, MISTA is the only one who's going to approve it. Okay. Typically, it gets approved by Eagle, but sometimes MISTA calls on that. So anything in addition to that, James? Okay. So they are seeking a grant up to $21,955 for support of the MISTA required environmental due diligence, and obviously in this case they're providing, you know, affordable housing and all that, those good things. So, so that's basically it. Yeah.
very good. I understand it was 784-page packet that we got to read through. It took me more than a day to do so, but any questions, discussions relating to this agenda item?
That's a lot of paper for $21,000.
Well, that was the entire packet.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the entire.
Yeah, this portion's only like 20.
Yeah. This is why we do electronic.
Wow, that's a really big reconfiguration.
Yes.
Okay.
Heather?
I'm familiar with this from the City Commission. Really happy to support what I consider workforce service worker housing in Traverse City, which is really hard to come by. And I'm happy to make the motion, which is the recommendation to approve the LBRF grant in the amount of $21,955 to complete required MISTA environmental site activities for Nest Community Partners.
We have a motion by Shaw. Is there support?
Oh, so it's the third hey you from the left. Supported that.
We have a motion support. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. Motion carries. That concludes 10A. We'll move on to 10B, the Minervini Group request for eligible activity approval of Brownfield TIF reimbursement for cottage 34. Ann?
So this is over at the Commons, and Ray Minervini is here if there are any questions, but essentially they're in the process of doing a rehabilitation on Cottage 34. Some of you may recall back in 2023 we applied for a blight elimination grant from the State Land Bank, which assisted with some of the initial rehabilitation of the roof and so forth. This is the next phase, which is in the Brownfield plan. It's approved eligible activity for tax increment financing reimbursement. It's inclusive of asbestos abatement, lead-based paint abatement, and demolition. That's basically pre-demo or pre-construction type of activities. So we have some kind of fun pictures. I don't know if you guys saw those, but sort of
Fun?
the before, right? Like what it looks like before. I always like to show these. So you can see that the building itself is it's a historic resource. It also qualifies as that under the Brownfield Financing Act. And they've been working with the State Historic Preservation Office to stay in compliance with the requirements under their, is it a deed? Or how does that, it's like a historic district requirement? Okay, yeah. So there's, additional requirements that come with that. So this is eligible activities. I have reviewed these and certified that they are eligible for reimbursement. And so the request is to reimburse the Minervini Group for the $183,841.
Thank you. Any questions? Any comments? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion for action on said request.
I can do that. I move, let's see, to make the recommendation to approve eligible activities, including asbestos and lead-based paint abatement and selective demolition and oversight for Cottage 34 in the amount of $183,841 to the Minervini Group.
Second it.
We have a motion by Shaw, supported by Seifert, to approve the request. Any discussion?
I have a little question. Is
Yes.
this going to be housing, or is this a hotel, or what is this going to be?
It's
Great. I'm happy to see that with its beautiful lawn in front. Oh, it'll be really nice.
Any additional comments, questions, statements? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carries. Next item on our agenda can be found on pages 178 through 503.
Thank you, that's really helpful. It really is, because I don't have a
Oh,
table of contents, I'm looking at the.
I will add that. It's, forgive me, Live AE East Bay request for reimbursement of eligible activities under the approved Brownfield Plan and MISTA Act 381 work plan. Ann, could you give us a highlight on that, please?
Yeah, so this is one of our first brownfield plans that we approved under the MISTA Housing TIF program. I believe it was the second one we approved. It's located in East Bay Township, and it's single-family home development rentals. So 20% of the development includes the workforce housing. And we have been working with them over the last year on making sure that they're in compliance with the requirements under the MISTA Housing TIF. There's extra reporting requirements that we're fortunate enough that we get to review, which basically they have to demonstrate that they are renting at least 20% of those homes to households that do not exceed 100% area median income for rent, and that's also inclusive of utility allowances. So there's a deduction on the rent for the folks who are qualifying for those, affordable units as well. The majority of the eligible activities are related to some minor environmental due diligence that was required because this was a former orchard. So there was some minor environmental contamination as it relates to lead and arsenic. So that area was essentially bermed and capped in place. I think you guys worked on that one too. Yeah, Otwell Mobby also worked on that one. And so the request coming to you today is a reimbursement request for $1,146,000. I'm sorry, $1,146,638 for reimbursement of eligible activities that are related to the site preparation and the infrastructure improvements as allowable to serve the affordable workforce housing project.
Okay. Heather, looks like you have a question.
Maybe I'm on the wrong page. I'm seeing 6 million.
Yeah, did I say 6 million? I did not.
1 million, I thought.
Oh,
Maybe
Well,
I misheard.
6,146,000.
6 million.
And that's minor environmental due diligence?
No. That includes environmental, site preparation, and infrastructure. Yeah, so like the
Oh,
roads, water,
and
sewer.
okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
That was a really expensive
I want some
cleanup.
of those minor, yeah.
Any further questions, comments in regards? Scott?
6 million seems like a lot, and I don't mean I think it's a lot of burden for the developer to bear. And I can appreciate us helping out through MISTA, and I'm a big fan of the project because, to Ann's point, this is not only one of the first ones through MISTA, but it's the first one with single-family homes through MISTA, which is county board has been asking for since day one, since it changed. So I appreciate the project. And quite honestly, it creates a lot of build it, they will come environment for East Bay Township, and I don't know what their partnership is in this, but we move forward. I'd like to see more skin in the game from the township. $6 million, I mean, you're talking water, sewer, roads,
Landscaping.
landscaping. Well, landscaping, that's on them, maybe. You go to the Southwest, it's all rocks. So it's all about perspective, I guess. But I'm in favor of the project, have been, still am. But I just wanted to make that comment that $6 million is a lot to put on a developer for a project that we are asking for specifically, single-family homes. And I hope somebody from East Bay Township just heard what I said, and the rest too. That's all. Thank you for your time.
Very good. Any other comments, questions? Further discussion? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion on said request.
So made.
Second.
Motion by Seifert, seconded by Shaw to approve the recommendation to approve the eligible activities, including Eagle exempt activities, site preparation infrastructure, TIF, in the amount of $6,146,638. Any discussion? If not, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. Motion carries. Thank you. 10D, Traverse City Area Public Schools, TCAP request for reimbursement of LBRF grant eligible activities and amendment of total approved amount from $39,787 to $43,643.57. Support for LBRF grant funds. Ann.
So this was brought to you guys back in May. This was part of the redevelopment of the new field house. It's going in over in East Bay Township, being developed by the Traverse City TCAPs, right? So they originally had requested support for $39,787, and they ran into an old well, so they had to basically have that abandoned and capped in place. So this is going to be sort of it's going to be two motions. So the first is to approve the increase in the cost that's inclusive of abandonment and capping of the cut and cap the former well, and an asbestos survey that was done prior to demolition. That's a requirement. Any building that's, going through a demolition process has to have a asbestos survey to certify that that is, not present in the building prior to demolition. So, again, the property qualified as a functionally obsolete property, and we're giving back to the school system, and creating a community benefit. So this is, request is presented here today, and the recommendation is to increase the amount of the approval on the LBRF grant, and then we actually got the eligible activities. This has been completed, and they submitted that for reimbursement, and so the motion essentially is to increase the budget and approve those eligible activities that were completed as part of the approval.
Yes, and this should be done in two distinct motions. Any questions, comments, clarifications?
It's not all under one motion, even though it's two motions?
We have to amend the budget, then approve that. If it does go that way, then we have to make the motion to reimburse.
I'll
And
let
just
you do that.
protocol procedures.
Yeah.
Julie?
I just had a question about what is the building that the demolition is happening on? I'm not as conversant with the site that they're,
It was a former, I guess, field house and storage facility, like where they had, a smaller, I think it was a baseball field around that area.
okay,
And it was, a small building that was left on site,
okay,
so.
Like a football equipment or something they had in
Yeah,
there?
something, yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was just curious of what needed to be done.
Any other discussion, comments on the project itself? I would entertain a motion for a budget amendment.
Made.
Motion by Shaw, supported by
Second, hey,
Hay, to amend the budget from $39,787 to $43,643.57. Any discussion on said motion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carries. I would entertain a motion on the second part of reimbursement of said amount. Any discussions, comments in that? If not, I would support the LBRF grant funds reimbursement for the grant eligible activities totaling $43,643.57. Is there support for that?
I'll second that.
Support by Shaw. Any discussion? Comments? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries. Concludes D. We'll move on to 10E, Copy Central City View Apartment Project, Grand Traverse County Land Bank Authority. Reimbursement request for eligible activities inclusive of acquisition. Ann and Maxwell, I see you're both familiar with this, I presume.
Correct. So, if you recall, in May, we approved a budget line item adjustment under the Boardman Lake Trail Brownfield plan. These parcels were included in that project, and the scope of work was approved by the Michigan Economic Development Corporation at the time, which was the mega board. Essentially, the land bank owned a portion of the right-of-way, which was an old railroad right-of-way, that dead-ended right into the Copy Central parcel. And they're working with the Traverse City Housing Commission, and the proposed development is going to be low-income housing tax credits. So it's a low-income housing tax credit, affordable housing development. So part of, under 381, it's interesting with the land bank, acquisition of property is included as an eligible activity. So in this case, the land bank is partnering with the Housing Commission, acquiring the land, assembling the land, because there's the Copy Central private piece, and then there's 2 slivers that were owned by the city of Traverse City, very tiny little odd slivers that were left. And so this is part of the acquisition process. This is the first request for reimbursement that's coming in under this Brownfield plan for this development. And it is for the acquisition amount of $794,745.32.
Very good, thank you. Maxwell, you have anything to add?
So, good morning. My name is Maxwell Cameron, Community Development Coordinator with the county. To do a project like this, it takes a village, literally, and we wouldn't be able to move forward without Ms. Jameson's support and guidance throughout the project and helping us create the reimbursement and development agreement and hone in on our eligible activities. And I want to share our appreciation on behalf of the county and the land bank as far as the approval that we got in May from this board for those eligible activities. And as Ms. Jameson indicated, this is sort of the first piece of the puzzle. We are leveraging the property that we currently own in the area, purchasing the former Copy Central site, and with the City of Traverse City's support, they are also contributing those smaller parcels to what will be an assembled site that will provide workforce housing opportunities for our community. We were able at the end of last month to move forward with site acquisition, and we are full steam ahead in terms of our next project milestones. We've put out a RFP for demolition of Copy Central. We'll be holding our pre-bid meeting tomorrow on site to walk through the property, and we're going to move forward with taking down that building so that we can get the site assembled and continue to work with the Housing Commission on their project and meeting some of the goals associated with submittal of their LIHTC application. So I'm happy to answer any other questions about the project. We're just really excited to be moving forward.
And I have to follow up on those comments. This has been a very complex, complicated arrangement of putting all these pieces together, and it would not have worked without Maxwell guiding the ship in that regards, and ensuring that we're going down the right process. Worked with four different public agencies, I believe, along with the property owner. Would like to thank the property owner for patience of this process, which was expedited. So again, thank you, Maxwell, for doing
Thank you.
this, and Ann, and the land bank. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion on any type of action on this request.
Let me get to where it's the appropriate. I make the motion, we recommend to approve the reimbursement of TIF eligible activities identified as exercisable property to the Grand Traverse County Land Bank. Is it an authority? Is that right? As eligible under Act 381 as amended in the amount of $794,745.32.
Second.
We have a motion by Seifert, seconded by Shaw. Any discussion on said motion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I believe that concludes E. We'll move on to item 10F, the Boardman Lake Avenue Brownfield Plan and MEDC Mega Act 381 Work Plan Budget approval for Sheffer Corridor to facilitate additional public improvements along the east side of the Boardman Lake Trail in Traverse City. Ann.
Yes, so now we're on the other side of the lake, on the east side of the lake. And this is a development. We have the development team here represented. Tim, you want to introduce yourself and your partner in crime? Big file.
Very
So-
good. Ann?
Yeah, so this is, the development of the public infrastructure improvements are actually on city-owned property. So there was just an access agreement approved by the city commission on Monday. So that provides for the ability for the development team to do these improvements on the city-owned parcel. So it is a direct connectivity to the Boardman Trail Loop. Really, the intent of this plan was to create opportunities for leveraging tax increment financing for public infrastructure improvements, which were directly that whole trail connect. I mean, I'm sure you guys have all walked on there. So we're at the point in this Brownfield plan where it's going to expire in 2032. And so sort of our larger plans in the city of Traverse City, inclusive of the Traverse City, Brownfield Place plan, and the Boardman Lake Loop, and the Commons plan, we're all, we're getting towards that sunset point. So we are looking for opportunities with our development partners and city partners and community partners and county partners to be able to utilize this to the full extent. So this is a recommendation to approve 1.2 million. That's up to 1.2 million for the public infrastructure improvements that will essentially include stormwater mitigation. So they're going to be putting in an underground detention system on the city-owned property that will assist with mitigating any stormwater impact from the development and the public infrastructure improvements. And then there's site preparation and public infrastructure improvements, because that whole area has to be sort of redesigned. And the recommendation is to approve that 1.2.
Any questions, comments? Heather?
I have a question. It's a logistical question. So my son, in the last few months, got an apartment on Tart, further south from you. And I'm like, great, you can ride your bike to work. Well, yeah, he can, but he has to come up Woodmere because he can't get his bike down to the Tart. I mean, he'd have to carry it up and down on stairs, and if you have an e-bike, which I do, I mean, forget it. So how are you getting people up and down from Tart?
So we're building, of the cost is we're building a giant.
Or the TCLP has their, yeah.
Really helps establish rental. Include the stairs too, because I can't do really gonna let us do it. What they decide to do with the property to the north of us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Any other questions, comments?
I'm just happy to see another development with safe access to the Boardman for pedestrians, I guess not pedestrians, but users. I know the Lower Unified Boardman Plan prioritizes this, so this just makes me happy to think that it'll be easier for more people to get out and use the water. So I think that's great, and safely.
Good, anything else? Heather?
I move to approve the budget approval of 1.2 million to facilitate the environmental and non-environmental eligible activities within the public ROW along the Boardman Lake Loop Trail to reimburse Millwork Development LLC for eligible activity costs incurred as a part of this redevelopment.
Yes, could you add up to?
Up to, oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry about that. Up to 1.2 million.
Very good, thank you. Is there support for said motion? Radke supports. Any discussion on said motion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. Motion carries. Thank you, good luck. We'll move on, that concludes item 10 of our agenda. We'll move on to item 11, second public comment. Please refer to the first rules of the first public comment section. Is there any member of the public wishing to speak? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 12, additional board comments. Is there any discussion, inquiries, or questions amongst us?
I have a question.
Yes, Heather.
Are we looking at September for the next meeting?
No, I think we're going to definitely have the August 30th,
Right.
meeting. We have a potential brownfield plan coming in out of East Bay Township for more single-family home development. But we're in the process of working with the development team and their consultant reviewing, checking those boxes. So,
Any other questions, discussions? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 13, notices, of which we just were informed that we will have potential August meeting. With that being said, any other notices? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 14, adjournment. This meeting is adjourned at 9:40 a.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day and enjoy this weather.
thank you. Awesome.